Yeah, if you think you're going to do it in your own strength, then you know what? Yeah, you can do it.
COVID, it's been helping people move their businesses from offline or brick and mortar to online.
Systems are more important than skills as an entrepreneur today.
It's totally okay to reinvent yourself multiple times, especially when you're an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy-Y-Bailey. If you're a coach, speaker, or industry expert, you're in the right place for sales and marketing wisdom and insight to grow your coaching business. Now, here's your host, Income Acceleration Mentor, Wendy-Y-Bailey.
Hey everyone, and welcome again to Profitable Coaching Conversations. I'm so tickled with our guest today, Patricia Stallworth. She's a profit coach. Everybody needs, when you're in business, everyone wants to be sure that you're earning a profit. So Patricia works with entrepreneurs and small business owners, coaches, and consultants specifically to help them ensure that they are generating profit in their business. You know, I'm going to love this conversation. She's also the author of the Profit Handbook and the host of the Soul Boss 360 podcast. Welcome, Patricia.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Awesome. So tell us more about what you do.
Well, basically what I do is I teach entrepreneurs to really get back to basics and start to think about why they actually went into business, which was generally to make a profit or to make some money, and then to really help them structure their business so that's what they're actually accomplishing, is making that profit top of mind instead of the last thing they think about.
Yeah, sometimes when you get into business, you get caught up with the things you have to do to market and your business. And so you kind of forget that you're really in business to earn money, to make a living, to create profit in your business. And so you get caught up in those trappings of marketing activities and that flurry of stuff you have to do to get seen and known and heard. So what do you say to the entrepreneur who's out there, who is looking at their bottom line and they're saying, you know, I'm really, really not generating the kind of profit that I want in my business?
Yeah, that happens a lot. And you're right. It's easy to get caught up in the marketing side of it because marketing typically is more fun.
Yeah.
And you have more activities that you can do. And everybody looks at me and they go, well, you know, I'm not a numbers person. You know, I didn't do well in math. So, you know, I just don't want to worry about this. But my whole thing is that it doesn't matter if you're good with numbers or if you
it's
did
a
well.
necessity.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the whole thing is we all understand what $1 is, $10, you know, whatever it is. We all understand that. And if your business is not generating enough of those $10 for you to be able to not only take care of yourself, but also to have a profit. And that's where a lot of people sort of get hung up because they think that as long as they have some money left over, as long as each month they didn't spend every penny they have, that they're making a profit. And that is so not true.
Yeah.
Because they're probably not even taking into account all of the expenses that they really have. And so it's like what you need is, and I know everybody is going to cringe when I say this, you need a plan. You need to understand what's going on in your business, what really works, what marketing is good for you, what kind of return you're getting on the marketing that you're doing so that you can ensure that you're actually spending your dollars the way they should be. But getting back to just understanding a profit is necessary to stay in business. And I have a startling statistic for you.
Okay.
Here's one that you're going to hear. 2/3 of businesses last year either did not make a profit or broke even.
Say that again. 2/3.
2/3 of businesses either did not make a profit or just broke even.
Wow. That means people are not really making a profit. They're not making money to put back into the business or to even scale.
Yeah, that's why you have such a large failure rate. 4 out of 5 businesses fail. Yeah. And they're doing that because they're not making a profit.
Yeah. And I want to, just for the record, I want to say that there's a difference between income or revenue and profit.
Absolutely.
There's a difference.
Absolutely.
I know what the difference is. Share your definition and the distinctions there that you know.
Well, I'll share it in terms of talking to a client that I had. This client said to me, she said, I'm on track to make a $75,000 profit this year. And I said, wow, you're in the bucks. And
Yes.
she said, yeah, as long as I make $100,000, my expenses are only $25,000 for the year. So therefore I have a $75,000 profit. And I'm looking, no, you don't.
It doesn't quite work like that.
Yeah. And she's thinking that her salary, she's equating her salary with a profit. Her salary is an expense of the business.
That's right.
So if she's going to pay herself anything, that takes away from that profit, so she figured out that all of her, regular expenses, she didn't have very many because she worked from home and things like that, just came out to $25,000. Well, if she paid herself a $50,000 salary, then she'd have a $25,000 profit.
Mm-hmm.
But thinking that she thought the whole $75,000 was a profit, not realizing that she had to take into
all of the expenses.
All of her expenses, which her salary is part of that.
Yeah. Income and revenue, I view those as synonymous, but profit is what you have left over after expenses. And that's every bit of expense that you have going into the business. It's, keeping the lights on. It's when you do networking. It's, if you have to travel in your car, it's all of the expenses related to doing business.
It's absolutely. And the other thing that people tend to forget is that they don't think of a profit as being that important because they don't realize that business is an investment. Your business, when you go into a business, it's an investment. And if you invested in anything else, you would expect to get a return on your investment. And so not really taking profit into consideration means that you're not getting a return on your investment. And who wants an investment that doesn't have a return? I mean, you may as well not invest in it if you're not going to get a return in it, so.
Yeah, I was talking with one of our other guests, and she's a financial freedom expert.
Okay.
And she talked about how for her to invest in anything, like she's just not just an entrepreneur, she has a number of different sources of income. And she said in order for her to invest in something, she's got to have a 100% return on her investment or she won't do it.
Okay.
I was like, wow, okay, that's a big return. And she's like, it's what I've got to do. I know it helps keep me honest about my decisions around investing. And I thought, wow, if entrepreneurs, and even if I thought like that, there would be a lot of things that I would not have done in the past 18 years. I would have made some very different decisions.
Very different decisions. Absolutely. One of the things that I do with business owners is we look at, especially for those that are just getting started, we look at really the profit potential of a business. And in many cases, everyone has in their mind what they think they should get out of the business. When you're starting, you say, this is going to be a business that's going to make me X number of dollars, or I'm going to be able to do these things by being in business. And so what we do is we calculate the profit potential of the business. And in some cases they look at it and they say, well, that's not enough for me. It's not what I had in mind with this business. And so then we can look at ways to maybe tweak their idea or do things like that so that they begin to get to that point that they want to, or maybe it's not possible and they know from the start, this is not a business that's going to work for me. So I need to either go back to the corporate world or I need to come up with a different idea, so understanding that profit potential is so important.
Yeah. And I love it because you're really talking about knowing early on if your business concept is viable.
Right.
Because if it's not, then you, like you said, need to go back to a corporate world or you need to do something different.
Yes, absolutely.
Is that typically when you start working with entrepreneurs at the beginning, or do you tend to work more with business owners who are well into it and you're having to kind of fix them?
Usually it's when they've been in there for a while because they get to a point where they're stuck. I can't seem to break through and make make that go to that next level, or something is just not working in the business. They look at me as kind of a troubleshooter for them. So I come in and I look at what's going on, and we look at the processes, their systems, everything. We go down to the core in terms of what's going on with them.
Yeah.
And I call it a DNA. We do a DNA thing, with them. And to just really look at every aspect of their business, figure out what's working, what's not working, what we need to fix, and go from there. And by doing that, they get a chance to, in many cases, totally revise or revamp their business, because they're sometimes when you get things work at a certain level, but when you get a little bit higher, those same processes and systems don't work for you anymore. So you really need to do some things to make them work for you. And that's usually when they call, is when something is just not working. They're stuck.
Yeah. People don't understand, at least some of the people I've come in contact with don't understand that when you start talking about profitability and income and revenue and expenses and really digging into those numbers, it's a real personal venture. Because you're uncovering limiting beliefs, you're looking at fears, you're looking at, all kind of stuff that can play into the decisions around your money, your numbers, right?
Yeah, it really is. I had this one woman say to me, she says, I have to get to know you a little bit better before I air all my dirty linens, put my dirty linens out in front of you, she said, because they're pretty dirty, and I'm like, okay, I said, take all the time you need. There's no hurry. We're not going to rush you here. But you're right. It is very personal. But the whole idea behind this is to be able to keep up with what's going on. So one of the things that I do with business owners is we put together a 1-page business plan that we update on a monthly basis.
Nice.
So, we
very
do that
nice.
so that you always know where you're going, how you're going to get there, what you need to accomplish each month to meet the goals that you set. And so therefore it helps them stay on track. Most people think of a business plan as being this 50, 100-page thing that you put on the shelf and you never look at again. But that's not the purpose of a business plan. The business plan is to keep you on track and to tell you what you need to do so that you're not wandering all over the place. And so that's why I really just shifted everything down to this 1 page. And that's what we focus on each month.
Yeah, that's excellent. Excellent. So do you talk about this on So Podcast 360? Tell us more about what you talk about there and what made you decide to actually launch the podcast.
Well, the podcast, that's a whole nother story about the podcast. I had set up my business to be a little bit different. For the past few years, I've been, basically being a caregiver. And in January, I decided that it was time for me to launch my new life, in a sense.
Okay.
So when I launched my new life, I was really focusing in on financial advisors to really help them build their businesses, their practices, and things like that. And so I started working more with them and realized that I really want to work with businesses in general, not just financial advisors. So it started out. So at the beginning of the podcast, you're going to see authors, and things that I interviewed related to that. Now we're shifting into really topics for business owners. We're talking about planning. We're talking about, I just had someone on that was talking about PR, because it's so important today. And I think that so many people are missing so many opportunities right now for that. And so we're talking about all the aspects of building a business and things you need to put in place. We're talking a lot about numbers, knowing your numbers, but we're also looking at the marketing, because that's the fun part. So we're looking at marketing as well. And we're looking at all the aspects, because you need to be a well-rounded person in business. You can't just focus on one subject or the thing that you're good at. You need to be flexible and you need to understand all the areas. So Boss was really, I relaunched it as a way to begin to really get to be that boss. I want to help people become money bosses, because when you're a money boss, my goodness, there's no stopping you. You can do anything you want to, but you've got to get that in your head. It's a mindset shift for many people that money is not a dirty word.
Right.
money.
And numbers are important for you to know so that you can have options.
Absolutely. And choices. That's what money gives you, is choices. You have a choice to, and one of the things that I stress with business owners is think about starting to contribute to retirement plans while you're in business. And a lot of them say to me, I'm never going to retire. I'm going to work till I drop. I love what I do.
I don't say that.
And I tell them, it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
whatever you want to do. But if you have this money, if you have this, and the great thing about retirement plans for business owners is that they're tax deductible.
Right.
So if you have those things in place, it's a good thing. It's a win-win for you. It's still your money, but you got to deduct it, which is really cool. So.
Yeah. That's awesome. So we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to go through our profitable wisdom questions. Sound good?
Sounds really good.
Okay, awesome. We'll be right back. Are you ready to elevate your sales game so you can add some zeros to your bottom line? Backed by popular demand is Supersize Your Selling, the 7-day sales challenge for coaches, speakers, industry experts, and marketplace influencers. Get ready to grow confident in your selling. Practice selling with grace and ease. Discover how to convert more ideal clients. Shatter your sales fears. Overcome objections effortlessly. Activate income acceleration in your business. This activation challenge features daily bursts of content, easy to complete assignments, sales coaching with none other than yours truly, Wendy Y, downloadable sales script, ongoing accountability and support. It's because it is designed to help you win. Sign up now at www.supersizeyourselling.com. That's www.supersizeyourselling.com, and we'll see you there. How do you create sustainable success in your business? It means that you're focused on creating a message for your most ideal client that magnetizes them to you. They're clamoring to work with you because of the messaging you have that shares with them your ability to solve their problem. It also means that you're working daily, weekly, and monthly on the right actions to impact your bottom line profits. Yeah, you want to increase them, but you've got to focus on moving away from the energy drainers and the time wasters to work with people that you are clearly designed to support in your business. It also means elevating your sales game. You've got to be really good at selling if you're in business, and you've got to know the right way to step into your sales game and elevate it so that you're authentic and true to who you are, and you're able to really and truly solve the problem your client presents when he or she comes to you. I'm Wendy Y. Bailey, known as your Income Acceleration Mentor, and I'm so excited that I'm going to be delivering another Income Acceleration Day, and you're invited. It's a virtual group coaching intensive designed specifically for people in the transformation space, like coaches and speakers and industry experts and marketplace influencers and CEOs and entrepreneurial leaders and consultants, all working on making a difference in the lives of people. Maybe it's in their business, maybe it's in their personal lives. It's all about transforming the people you serve. It's virtual, no traffic, no travel. And when we get together, we roll up our sleeves and we create that messaging that you're really looking for. We also look at what your income producing activities are. We get rid of the energy drainers and time wasters in your business. It's also about understanding and identifying multiple streams of active and passive income so that when you focus on the right things, you know exactly what your bottom line is going to look like. And then finally, we're going to do what we need to do to elevate your sales game. It's a must. It's easy. I promise you're going to love wearing the new sales game that you have going forward. Income Acceleration Day is happening soon, and I'd love for you to join me. Go to www.incomeaccelerationday.com and get ready, because it's all about accelerating your income quickly, growing your bottom line profits so that you can create the sustainable success you desire in your business too. See you there.
Hi, I'm Penelope Jane Smith, and you are tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversations show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Yo, people, what is up? This your boy, John Lawson, johnlawson.com, and you're tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Go ahead right now, subscribe so that you're notified every time an episode goes live. I'm out of here for now, guys. Peace.
Hey, it's Lou Bartone, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Okay, everyone, welcome back. We're talking to Patricia Stallworth, who's a profit coach who coaches entrepreneurs, small business owners, and consultants. So we're going to get into this profitable wisdom segment. These are questions, Patricia, that we ask every single guest. It's because they're insightful, they're intimate, personal answers, but they give so much courage and empowerment to the listeners and to the viewers. Okay. So the first one is, who's had the greatest influence in your life, in your business?
Okay, this is going to sound really weird, but it's actually my ex. And I picked him because he taught me everything that he took me out of my naivety, I guess I want to say, because he really challenged every belief that I had. Okay, and about money. About everything. About life. Yeah, he challenged everything in my life. And so, and then in the end, it was just so horrific that it really is the thing that took me into money. I mean, that's how I started my whole career. Was during our divorce. I'm sitting at the settlement table and I'm looking at this number for our investments, and the number is not even as big as what I personally had put into the investments. And I'm trying to figure out what is going on. You know, at that point, I had resigned myself to not having a husband. I had resigned myself to a whole bunch of things, but I had not resigned myself to having no monty. Right. And that was the thing that, I mean, that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. And I vowed well, it wasn't at the meeting, I was speechless there and I had to just leave. But a few days later, I came back to myself and I decided this will never happen to me again. And so I went out and I became a financial advisor, because I figured they knew how to manage money and they were going to teach me. So that was really the biggest influence. Absolutely changed. Well, and even though it might not have been positive, it was in a difficult situation. It sounds like you turned it into lemonade. Yeah. You know what I mean? By it challenged you to get to know money in a better way, so you'd never be in that position again. That's not bad. Yeah. That's not bad at all. I think it's wonderful. So what's the best business advice you've ever received? The best business advice I've ever received is to always look at things through the eyes of your ideal client. I mean, it doesn't matter what you think about something, it's your client, because the business is not to please you, really. The business is to make money, remember? That's right. Back to basics. The business is to make money. So the whole idea there is to always look at this from your customer's perspective and not necessarily from yours. Yeah. Good advice. Good advice. And what's the largest single sale you've ever made in your business? Largest amount, circumstances. I have these clients that I call boomerang clients because they go away and then they come back and they go away and they come back. Yeah. So one of them bounced back at one time and he needed some work. And I said, okay, yeah, I'll do that for you we'll work for 6 months, because I knew they wasn't going to be there for that long. I said, I'll do it for 6 months for $10,000. He goes, okay. So that taught me a lesson right there. Mm-hmm. I didn't say a big enough number. Yeah. I've been in that situation too, where I quoted someone something I just knew would blow their ears back, right? Yeah. And they were like, well, you're not charging enough. I paid this other person 10 times what you're charging. And I thought, wow. Yeah. Yeah. No, it was like, that was because I was busy at the time, and it's like, okay, 6 months, 10K. He says, okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's also, I loved your story because it's also sort of that pain in the ass price fee that you set for those clients that even when you're working with them, they're a pain in the ass, but because they're paying you so much, you kind of get over it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are my boomerang clients, and they keep coming back. And I'm like, why do you keep coming back? It's like, but I love them. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
The money is, they boomeranged back in here in February. So it was like, yay. So
we were starting to go into lockdown, right?
Yeah. So they boomeranged back in, and it's like, thank you.
Works for me, right?
It absolutely does. I will put up with it because really I was losing clients left and right when COVID thing came, because they just didn't have money to continue.
So what did you do to celebrate that $10,000 sale? Anything special?
I really did not do anything special, because at the time I was just snowed under, and I was just getting to that point of getting into that caregiver mode. Mm-hmm. And so it was a blessing for me. And I said, thank you so much, because it was a blessing. Yeah. But by the same token, I was spending, 12, 15 hours a day taking care of somebody. So it was like,
sure.
So I just didn't have a celebration, was not part of my genre at the time, just right. didn't come in. Yeah.
Well, now that we've talked about it, I want you to commit to doing something now to celebrate.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to require that you leave the house, but something that speaks to celebration of that experience for you now, based on where you are now. The coach in me is coming out, Patricia.
I hear you. And I would tell my clients the same thing. Yeah. I'm one of those that sometimes guilty of not practicing all that I preach. And that's one of the areas where I fall down really big, is really celebrating. And I should be doing more of that.
So you had my permission to celebrate.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that.
Awesome. So what has helped you? Because I know you've been in your business how long now?
Oh, I've been in my business for about 14 years or so. Yeah.
So you've had moments along the way that have challenged you and had you thinking, maybe it's time for me to give up.
Yeah.
What helped you move through that spirit of, I think it's time for me to give up, so that you could continue to last in your business and do the things you were doing to serve your clients?
Well, it's sort of a saying that runs through my head all the time. And the saying is, failure is not an option. It is just not an option. I'm sorry. And it's like, have I ever failed? Yes, I failed 1,000 times, with things that I've done. But I don't generally see failure as failure in the same sense that some people do. Yeah. I just see that, okay, so you couldn't get in the front door. Is there a side door?
Right.
Is there a back door? Can you go through the roof? Is there a basement? It's the kind of thing where you can't give up on something because it just doesn't work right the first time. If you're committed to that, if you believe in that, then you got to keep going. So failure is not an option. It's just not, so.
Well, there are a couple of things you said that I want to unpack just a little bit. Failure is not an option. And by what you said, you didn't see it as failure. You actually learned and persisted. You were tenacious about maybe there being a different way to go around it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
To get an even better result. The other thing you said that I thought was kind of cool is you understand that you never know how far you've gotten and when you can go a little bit beyond that. For some reason, when you were talking, there's this meme on social media. It's been around for a number of years now, but it's of a gold digger. And there are two of them. You can see them like you're looking through the wall at them sideways, right? Okay. And one of them is picking with his pickaxe, and he's pushing back dirt, and he's getting dirt, and he's getting dirt. And he gets so far and he's like, okay, I give up. And you can see him turning around. You know the meme I'm talking about, right?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, okay. Well, and I say it's two of them, but it's only one of them. And then they expand the picture and you see that if he had just picked a little bit more into the mine, all of the diamonds would have come falling out on him.
Absolutely.
And you just never know what's a few feet or inches even away from your effort.
Absolutely. But the whole thing is that I have this belief that when God really puts something in your heart, and if it's there, He didn't put it there just to play with you. It's there because there's a reason behind it. And you have to keep going until you really finally understand it's never going to work no matter what I do. But you got to get to that point. And that point is like way down the road. That point is not 2 weeks in, it's like, oh, this is not going to work,
Yeah. Long-term commitment.
Yeah. So you do that. And then you realize at some point, and I've had this happen to me before because I really believe in setting goals. And I've had this where I've set this goal to do one thing and I've worked at it. It didn't seem to work, but all of a sudden something else came out of it, which was really even better than the goal I had thought of. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I was supposed to be there to get that, to understand this. And so it's really, everything in life is connected. Right. And you have to really believe that everything is there for a reason. And so if you believe that everything is there for a reason, then you have this ability to understand that maybe the front door wasn't the way to go. Maybe there was a hole that I would have fallen in and I gone in the front door.
That's right.
So going through the side door, that works just as well. So
nice.
it's one of those, and I guess too, I guess some people would say you're just getting old. And so when you get old, you
no, that's not it at all. I think you're getting wise.
With all of those things.
Wiser.
Yeah, no, I think really honestly, I think I've in the past few years, I think I've gotten a whole bunch wiser than I was before.
Yeah. It's not failure or you lose. You actually learn because you win. You win because you learn.
Yes. Yeah. You always learn. And you just have to always look for that lesson inside of there. Yeah. Once you get that lesson, it's like, that's something like I tell my clients that they tickle me so bad. They say, well, I can't do this, or I don't understand this, or something when it comes to money. And I tell them, once I tell you, you cannot unhear that.
Right.
And you cannot use it for an excuse anymore because I've told you. And so it's out there, and so you can't unhear it. And they go, don't tell me. It's like,
but that's good advice,
Yeah.
Again, words have energy.
Yeah.
It's like, let that go. Let that go. Yes, you do. Learn the numbers. When you understand the numbers, you learn them, then you can know what you need to do to shift things around, or to enact different choices or, change your behavior or something. Yeah. It just makes a difference. What's your greatest personal accomplishment outside of your business?
Outside of my business, well, obviously my kid, but beyond that, it's really, I'm learning how to really tap into my intuition and visualization. That is something it is the coolest thing ever.
Yes.
It's the coolest thing to actually visualize something and then see it materialize. I mean, it's like, whoa, I did that. And sometimes I do it backwards, so that I visualize things not so good.
Yeah.
And then they actually happen. I'm like,
let me not do that again. Yeah.
Don't do that. Yeah. And so, but I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with that. And
I was going to say, it sounds like you're not just visualizing. It sounds like your greatest personal accomplishment is getting better at manifestation.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what that sounded like to me. It's like when you start really focusing on something and visualizing it, you can actually create the energy that makes it come true.
Yeah, no. And that's a cool thing. And that's one of the things that I try to get business owners to do, especially women, to tap into their intuition. Sometimes your intuition is right on, spot on, but we let people talk us out of it. Like, that's a dumb idea or something like that. And somebody else comes along with the same thing. A man comes along with the same thing and says it, and everybody says, "Oh, that's so fantastic!" Right? And then you go, "Well, yeah." I mean, it's like, no. So tap into that and use it to your benefit.
Awesome. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, Patricia's going to give us her parting thought. That nugget of wisdom that she wants to share with you before we close our episode. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Sherry Burke, and you're tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversations show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Simon T. Bailey, and you are tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. Listen, it's an amazing show. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel so you know when the next episode is coming your way.
Are you a coach, speaker, industry expert, or marketplace influencer who's ready to take your business to the next level? That means more time, more money, more clients, and lots more options, not just in your business, but in your life as a whole. I'm Wendy Y. Bailey, known as your Income Acceleration Mentor, and I want to extend my personal invitation to you to join me and my amazing guests as we tap into sales and marketing insights to help you grow your business and ultimately your bottom line.
It's easy to get caught up in the marketing side of it because marketing typically is more fun.
Yeah.
And
find businesses and opportunities that are going to bring you joy.
Saturday and Sunday was prime time. Lunchtime was prime time. So while everybody else is going to work, hanging out with their coworkers, trying to figure out what happened last night on Monday Night Football, I was making phone calls, I was responding to email, like I was, trying to build a business. So I had
my personal motto is by giving what I have, God is always going to give me what I need.
And if you were to ride in my car, you were paying for the gas.
I love it. Tune in to Profitable Coaching Conversations at www.profitablecoachingconversations.com. Okay, so we're back and we've had a delightful time talking with Patricia Stallworth, who's a profit coach. And Patricia, I want to ask you if there's one bite of wisdom that you want the viewers and the listeners to gain from your episode, what would that one nugget be?
the one nugget would be that numbers are our friends. Numbers have rules. And as long as you follow the rules, you can win. So sometimes it looks overpowering, but honestly, once you know the rules, it's as easy as pie.
So tell us a little bit about the gift that you have for our audience.
I actually have sort of like a guidebook, and it's called 5 Mistakes That Cost You Big Money. So what I do is I go inside and look at the top mistakes that I've seen my clients and other clients make over the years, and I list those out so that you have with the whole idea that you can avoid some of these if you understand them from the start. And to just give you an idea of what one of them might be is just to is having no plan A or plan B. So you start with the plan A, but right now during COVID and all of this stuff, you need a plan B. And plan B comes
or even a plan C.
Yeah, it comes out of your plan A. So it's really looking at the importance of having a plan A so that you can have a plan B, so that you can be okay even when the unexpected like this really happens today.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Patricia.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. I hope you'll join the after party in the Profitable Coaching Society. That's over on Facebook at www.profitablecoachingsociety.com. We'll see you next time for another great episode of Profitable Coaching Conversations. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning into Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. Be sure to join us at the after party at www.profitablecoachingsociety.com. We'll see you next time for more sales and marketing wisdom and insight from Wendy Y. and her amazing guests. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you know when new episodes are posted.